All right, and we are broadcasting live. Welcome to Phil's First Party Parlay, where we talk all things timely and topical in the insurance restoration industry. I'm Phil Sanov, first party trial lawyer with Morgan & Morgan's Insurance Recovery Group. With Morgan & Morgan's Insurance Recovery, most awesome attorney colleagues you would ever want to know. We are in 25 offices, 13 states, all across the country. If you have any problem with any insurance claim, you need to come see us. You can reach us through our website, forthepeople.com, hit pound LAW from any cell phone, or just call me direct on my cell phone. We'll figure out how we can help. 713-825-3444. Morgan & Morgan's Insurance Recovery Group. Come see us. Joining us on the show again this evening is my friend and colleague, Seth Kerr. Seth, please hit that magic button.
All right. Good evening.
Great.
How are you?
Good, good. Good evening to you. Thanks for being here.
I appreciate you having me.
You bet. So for folks that don't know Seth is one of those awesome attorney colleagues of mine I mentioned. He's in our Tampa office. Seth has such a wonderful background. I've got to spend a few moments bragging on Seth. Seth has a world of trial experience in the criminal law aspect even, both from the perspective of defending criminal accused and prosecuting those cases. Saw that from both sides, had that full spectrum perspective. Seth then stepped out and started representing insurance companies, doing insurance defense work, which is so helpful to our current clients, has that perspective of how is an insurance company going to look at this case, at this claim, and now can take that perspective, that knowledge that he gained for all those years, and help our clients with their insurance claims and advise and work those cases up. Seth, it always makes me so happy to have you on the show. Welcome, welcome back.
I enjoy being here, and thanks for having me back. Looking forward to it.
You bet. So before we start into the topics for discussion, let me say for those that are seeing this live, I will monitor the chat aspect room, Seth, so you can just focus on the camera and talking to the people giving us your content. If you have any questions for those watching it live, please type it in the chat room, or if you know how to use the electronic raise your hand function in the attendee list, I can also unmute you to ask your question live for Seth to answer during the audio portion of the show. Seth, thank you again. You know how we do this. I'm a trial lawyer, so I believe in the magic of three. I work with the magic of three. We try to make sure that we have guests talk about 3 points. You had so much to talk about on the first 2 points last week that we did a little pivot to have you back this week to do another show to talk about not only the point we didn't get to, but 2 additional points on hurricane preparedness, since May is Hurricane Preparedness Month. So as you know the format, let's forecast for folks, listing what the 3 points will be. Then we'll go back and discuss in detail each of the 3 points, what I like to call putting some meat on those bones. So tell us the 3 points, folks will know what's coming.
So the 3 points we're going to talk about tonight, and the one from last week that we didn't get to, is we're going to talk about what you need to watch out for. After the hurricane happens, if you have damage, things you need to watch out for that don't necessarily even have to do with your insurance company. And the second thing we're going to talk about is your attorney and who you're hiring, and some questions you may want to ask your attorney, or what you should know and look for in an attorney that you're going to hire if you need to hire one for a hurricane claim. And then the third thing, which is kind of relates to the second, and really is 2 of the most important things that will happen once you do hire an attorney, are the way you communicate with your attorney and the expectations that you set with your attorney from the first time that you ever have a conversation.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Seth. And we'll do what we can to get through all 3, but I know you've got a lot of great content to provide people. If we get to the the end of the time and we need to extend to another show, we'll do it. We don't have any artificial limit on that. So the first point for you to fill in for folks is policyholders, if part of your hurricane preparedness is obviously we're not going to be able to avoid it if it hits. And so what are the things that folks need to look out for in the event the worst happens and they do have damage?
All right. So as Phil said, this is a scenario where the hurricanes come, the hurricanes pass. Maybe it's the next day. You're looking outside, you're assessing your house. You realize that you've got damage to your roof, etc., and some things to do. Well, more often than not, if you live in a neighborhood and your neighborhood has hurricane damage, at some point in the first couple of days after that hurricane, you're going to get a knock on your door by something that I like to call the door-to-door roofer. And this is going to be a guy in a truck who's going to pull up outside, and he's going to go to every single one of your neighbors, and he's going to bring his ladder and say, hey, I see you may have some damage. Let me go up on your roof and see what kind of damage you have. And you think, great, this is great. Somebody to do this for me. I don't have to worry about it. And they're going to come down. They're going to say, yep, you've got damage. You need a new roof. Just sign this document and we'll take care of it. Well, what you don't realize and what you don't realize what you've just signed, if you don't read it closely, you've probably signed something that's called an assignment of benefits. And what you've just done is you've agreed to whatever the price the roofer has given you. You've agreed that the roofer will make your insurance claim. And you've now agreed that if your insurance company does not cover the claim or pay enough, that you are responsible for the rest.
And Seth, I know that you're going to get into this, but what should folks do instead of just sending anybody, the first person there up on their roof, or signing anything for them? I know you're getting into this. I just want to make sure we transition it and forecast it for folks. You're going to tell us what we should do. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What are the best steps to do?
What you need to do is you need to step back. First, you need to say, is your family safe? If your family is safe in the house and there's no open holes in your roof or water pouring in, the storm has passed, and realize you can take a breath, make your claim, call your insurance company, call me if you have questions about what to do, call our firm. We have 53 lawyers that answer questions for free every day.
You know, they've got Phil's cell phone number. They can call Phil, right? I've been putting it out there.
Exactly. Exactly. And once you've made your claim, let the insurance company inspect. Call me if you have a question about what to say to the insurance company or what you need to do, and then see what the insurance company does. More than likely, you're going to get somebody to tarp your roof. If you have a handyman, something that we talked about, a bug out bag when putting your policy in it and some other important documents. Something I will also recommend is get a name of a handyman and put it in there so that you have it in case you have bad damage. But somebody, get your roof tarped if you need to. Don't sign the first person that comes to your door that says they can help you. Figure out what you really need to do. Think about it in any kind of scenario. If somebody's coming to knock door to door, they're probably not having much business and they probably need the business. You're better off waiting, make your claim, contact an attorney, let them help you, let them guide you. We know who to hire. We know what to do to make your claim and to make you safe.
And since we went over this on the last show, so it's going to seem I don't want it to seem disjointed for folks that are seeing this repurposed video or hearing this repurposed audio on a podcast. I don't want it to be too disjointed. So you may want, for the best flow, to back up a little bit and talk about how you've talked about reporting the claim and making sure, as you say, you let the insurance carrier know whether you've got some dangerous condition with holes in the roof. Let them know they need someone out there to do emergency repairs and tarp it, right?
Right. And you need to ask for your assignment or your benefits, additional living expenses that are benefits under your policy. That's a benefit you have that you've paid for. And if you have damage to your house and if you don't feel safe at your home, you need to let your insurance company know that not only do they need to inspect your house, but they need to let you get into a hotel for at least a couple days until the damage is assessed. You've paid for it. It's what it's there for. Ask for it, demand it, and use it.
I didn't mean for us to put us on a pivot there, Seth, but in case there were folks that were just catching this one, let's make sure that they knew that was a part of it as well.
Right. And that's important because that goes back to if you do have considerable damage, you think, I need to hire somebody right away. you end up getting into a bad deal that a month down the road you'll regret. As Phil said, use your policy, use what it's there for. Get emergency repairs done that are provided under the policy, or get those additional living expenses. Those are benefits you pay for. You're entitled to them. Use them, request them.
Before we move on to the second topic about considerations for hiring an attorney, is there anything else that you want to make sure you tell folks about things to look out for, or have we covered that and ready to transition on?
I think we're ready to transition on. The most important thing, like we've talked about, is if you're asked to sign a contract, I would be very leery of doing anything until you've had an attorney review it or really let your claim go through the claim process.
Thank you. Thank you. Very important. Good information there, Seth. So the second point of your 3 points to flesh out this evening was considerations for an attorney to hire if you have trouble with your claim. How do you want to fill in those gaps, please?
Yeah, I mean, this is a scenario, obviously, where you've made your claim to the insurance company. Maybe the insurance company's denied your claim. Maybe the insurance company has offered you an amount of money, but you know that it's not enough. You've gotten other estimates and you're aware that it's not enough. Or maybe the hurricane's passed and you think, I have a job. I'm trying to take care of my family. I just don't feel comfortable dealing with this. And you decide that you want to contact an attorney. There's a lot of things that you need to look for. And obviously you need to read everything you're sent before you hire someone. One is hurricanes are a time when we see attorneys jump into the field. You'll see general contractors from other states flying in to do work. And really, it's a lot of what some attorneys will do. It's attorneys that don't do insurance. They'll do another area, but because there's a hurricane, because they know there's a need, they'll want to jump in and say, well, now I do hurricane claims. Look at my website, or call me 1-800 whatever, because I bought the number and now I know how to do it. Where you need to know what your attorney does. This is all that I do. All I do is represent people that need to sue their insurance company. I would say 80% of my work is hurricane related. That's still related to Hurricane Irma and storms that have dealt with damage after that. This is my job. It's my passion, is getting people insurance recovery, just like the name of our group is, to recover people's money and so that they can put their homes back together and their lives back together. And I would recommend, if you're going to hire an attorney, make sure that your attorney is the same. Let
me say this, Seth, that's what I tell people all day. I say all day, every day, all we do is help people get their insurance claims paid. We all see when there are storms, this webpage comes onto someone's site, this advertising gets going. If you don't do it all day, every day, there are too many pitfalls where you're not really going to get folks everything that they ought to get. So I appreciate that you're making sure you let folks know to focus on that. One more thing before we come back to you, Seth, we have a few attendees. Let me make sure that I do remind, if you've got a question that you'd like for Seth to answer, I am monitoring the chat room. So please type out a chat. If you've got some point you'd like to make or some question for Seth, type it out in the chat and I'll let Seth know that we've got something to point out there for you. Any other considerations, Seth? Back to you, back to our point 2 with you. Any other considerations for folks?
Just like you said, I mean, that's the great thing about Morgan & Morgan and our firm, is that we do everything, but the attorney you have will only specialize in what you need. And you need an attorney in your cases that can specialize in what you need. You don't want an attorney that one day is going to go to court because he's prepared a will or something, or one day he's going to represent somebody in a divorce, and then the next day he's going to handle your case. If I go to court, I'm going to court to get money back from my clients from their insurance company. I don't go for any other reason. That's my passion. That's my job. And you need to find an attorney that's the same way.
And you are good at it, my friend.
I
if I say
that.
so myself. All right. Well, we've covered 2 very important points for policyholders during their Hurricane Preparedness Month. What would be point 3 to transition to that folks need to know about setting expectations and communications if it has to go into where they are hiring someone to represent them, such an attorney to represent them.
Right. The most important thing is once you've selected your attorney is before your lawsuit is ever filed, really before any contact is even made with the insurance company, is you need to have an expectation of, one, what you want from the case, what you're willing to put into the case, and three, what your attorney is going to be willing to do as well. I have certain clients that will tell me, Seth, I want every single dollar that the insurance company owes me, and I don't care if we have to wait 5 years to go to trial. I don't care about being deposed. I don't care that we may lose. I don't mind taking off a week of work to sit at trial, and I have no fear of losing, and I have no fear of any of it. Get me the most money you can. And then I have other clients who will say, Seth, the insurance company didn't pay me anything. I don't want to spend the next 3 years of my life on this case. I don't even really want to be deposed. I want you to do the best you can to get me the most you can as fast as you can, and I want to be done. Well, how I handle those two cases is different. Phil, do you have something to jump in?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I like that first kind because I'm a trial lawyer. I come in and take cases to trial. And so I want to say I like those first kind, but we've all got all kind of those type different clients, and we do the best we can because it's their case. They get to make those decisions. And so now I didn't mean to interrupt you either, Seth. So transition us into how you will handle each one of those and set the expectations in the conversations with the client up front. That's our point here.
Well, the most important thing is both cases are handled aggressively. They're just handled differently. If I know a case is going to trial from the very beginning, or at least that a client is itching for a trial if they don't get their top dollar, then my job is to get that case into trial, one, as fast as I can, and two, to work the case up in a way that gets it there and gets me the information that I need, whether it's setting certain depositions, whether it's getting certain experts on the case, whatever it may be. A case that's going to go to trial, it has to be set up and has to be conducted totally different than a client that you have that says, I don't really want to go to trial. I just want to get what I can, and I want to move on with my life. Because when you have a case like that, there's obviously you need to be aggressive, and you need to get the insurance company to come to the table and offer you something. But it's also, you don't want to be the barrier to the case settling. You don't want to rack up a bunch of time doing useless things or things that you can do later on if the case just will not settle. That will conserve costs and keep time where you can do what your client wants you to do, and that's resolve the claim. And that's the most important thing is, as the client, you have to tell your attorney that. You don't want an attorney that's going to rack up a bunch of time and a bunch of hours or a bunch of costs if you don't want the case to go in that manner. And then likewise, you don't want an attorney that wants to settle everything if you want top dollar and want to go to trial. And that's why before the insurance company is contacted, really before you even sign the contract, is you need to lay out what you expect of the attorney and what your expectation is for what you want out of the case. And really that kind of flows into the communication point. You have to communicate with your attorney. You have to communicate about what you want. You have to communicate about what you expect. And your attorney likewise has to do the same for you. You should have an expectation after the first phone call of what's going to happen with your case, whether it has to go to trial or whether it has to settle at a motion or what's going to happen. It should be laid out how your case could go, the time frame it's going to take, and what can happen if you win and what can happen if you lose.
I really like the way you laid it out at the beginning, Seth, when we want to make sure that the homeowner, the policyholder, communicates with the attorney, what are they willing to put into it? So many times we get the right type of client, the right type of case that we feel like we could really recover for them, but we can't be the person that cares the most about the claim. And so when you have that interaction, that full communication about what you, the client, are willing to put into it, that just helps so much with set up the case for success.
Right, because again, some clients will have different expectations. I've had some clients that have told me, well, you're just going to get this paid quick, right? It won't, and it'll be over, right? And no, I wish.
Yeah.
If I could do that, I would probably have every client in the state of Florida that would want me to represent them. Cases aren't fast. Even cases that we want to resolve where clients are willing to take less than what it's going to take to fix. If the insurance company doesn't want to resolve your case, then your case isn't going to resolve, and you have to be prepared to go to trial, which goes back to A, who you hire as an attorney, and B, the expectations that you have for your case.
And that free flow of communication about that on, we'd love to settle every case for top dollar right away, but we don't write the checks. That's why there's this adversarial situation. But the communication that you outline for giving to the client and getting back from the client is the right way to go. I'm really grateful for you coming on here and discussing that.
Thank you.
Points, any additional points from you on this part, discussing about the expectations and the communication?
No, not really this part. I will say my way of communicating is my office number, so everyone can have it and write it down. Like I said, call me anytime if you have questions. It's 813-577-4723. And again, I'm available at any time, or you can go on the Morgan & Morgan website, forthepeople.com. I'm on there. Again, email me if you have any questions. Happy to talk to anybody about anything hurricane related.
We've got a few minutes left here, Seth, so I don't want to miss making sure that we highlight this point. So many folks will think, okay, I've got Phil's phone number, I've got Seth's phone number. I know I can find them through the website. Gosh, do I really want to get in touch with that lawyer? That's going to cost me money. Those lawyers are really good. They're really expensive. What do you want to let folks know about that part of making sure they come contact the right lawyer?
Free of charge. Obviously, I'll answer any questions you have free of charge, but even then, once you hire me, I make the insurance company pay me. You don't pay me anything. You'll know what you're settle. If you settle a case, you're going to know exactly what your dollar is, not what I'm getting paid. You won't have to worry about it. If we go to trial and you win an amount of money, you're going to know all that money is yours. So don't be concerned about that. Again, I answer questions all the time. That's whether you sign up with me or anyone else at our firm or not. I'm happy to answer any questions for free. But then again, even if you hire us, we're basically free.
All right. Fantastic, Seth. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad we were able to cover the 3 points of what should policyholders look out for if they do suffer hurricane damage, storm damage, what type of attorneys should they hire, and what are the communication and setting expectations. This has been another wonderful edition of Phil's First Party Parlay with our special guest, Seth Kerr. Seth, I'm going to take us home in a second. Anything you'd like to say as we're on our way out?
No, just thanks again. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to being on again sometime soon.
All right. We'll have you back. Morgan & Morgan's First Party Insurance Recovery Group. Come see us. forthepeople.com. Thanks, Seth. See you soon.
Thanks.
All right.